record button. And there we are. Let's get rolling. All yours, Nanto.
Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our online launch event for Teach a Man to Fish programs. We are an education charity set up in the UK and based in Durban, whose mission is to empower young people with skills they need to succeed in school, work, and life. I am Nondobego, the program officer, and joining me today is also my colleague, Paula, who is coming from the UK office.
Amazing, thank you, Nanto. So welcome everyone to this exciting session. I'm Paula, I'm a senior manager at Teach a Man to Fish, and I came to Durban 3 weeks ago. So I'm really excited to be here and getting to know you online and hopefully in person during my time here in South Africa. So welcome again to this online session.
As we all connected today on Zoom, I'd like to share some ground rules for today's session before we start. You'll notice that you are all on mute at the moment, and that is to avoid any background noise during the session. However, if at any point in the session you'd like to share any comments or questions with the rest of the group, please raise your hand so we can help you to unmute yourself. If at any point you have a question, please write it in the Q&A or comment section. In that way, we'll be sure to read it and answer it for you. Now, before we get started, I think it would be nice if you could continue to introduce yourselves. If you could just quickly type your name, your school in the chat section, and I'll give you about 30 seconds or so to do that.
Amazing, thank you, Nanto. I just wanted to add, this is an informal session. This is an hour session where we like to share all the exciting things that we have available for you this year. So feel free to raise your hand, post a question, introduce yourself, and add your comments on the chat box, which I'll be monitoring while Nanto leads the session. So welcome again, feel free. This is, an informal session, casual one. Amazing, thank you.
Welcome, Bongile Shabangana. Welcome, Yvonne Mhandu. Welcome, Public Mashabela. And also welcome, Paul. Okay, great. Are we ready to start? Let's have a look at the agenda for today.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, they're there.
In today's session, we will cover the following: an introduction to the 3 main initiatives running this year, followed by some inspiring stories shared by some of the teachers. We will look together at the registration forms for the School Enterprise Challenge and the Enterprise Adventure, and then it will be followed by a Q&A section. And before wrapping up, we will check together the next steps. We'd like to introduce you to 3 initiatives that will be opening up to every school in South Africa this year. They will be run from the end of May up until October 2021. These are our Teacher Professional Development Webinars, the Enterprise Adventure Program, and the School Enterprise Challenge. Now let's have a closer look at each of them. We will start with a new series of our successful teacher webinars. Last year, we had such a positive turnout for the webinars that we cannot wait to see how they'll become even more impactful this year. We will be running 12 webinars. Our webinars are interactive online educational sessions that help educators create innovative and interactive learning experiences to develop their learners' 21st century work skills. The online webinars will include educators from South Africa and also educators from around the globe. So you will get a chance to interact with like-minded peers from different countries. You will also have a chance to get a certificate to further advance your career. We will share with you tools that will help you develop your practical skills that you can use directly with your learners. So watch this space, as the first webinar series is starting next week on Tuesday, the 1st of June at 3 p.m. and also on Thursday, the 3rd of June at 5 p.m. The second initiative we'd like to share with you this year is the Enterprise Challenge, is the Enterprise Adventure Program. This is a program that was developed last year due to COVID restrictions and school closures, which is available as a hard copy workbook. Through a series of practical missions, the program supports young people to plan their own social enterprise while solving problems in their own community. Last year, we distributed more than 700 workbooks to 26 schools across the country, including Singeli High School, Hillcrest High School, Emil Salton in Pietermaritzburg, and KI Twala Secondary School in Mpumalanga Province. And we'd like to reach even more learners this year. The Enterprise Adventure is ideal for high school learners between the ages 13 to 18, as they develop business and life skills, which help them to set up their own business in future or to get a job. Learners can participate with their friends, on their own, with family members, and no prior experience is required to participate. So stay tuned, as we will also start distributing new workbooks from next week. I would like to invite Mrs. Justine Tanyanyiwa from Leaf School to unmute herself and share their experience on their participation in the program last year, as she was also one of the winners for the most completed workbook per school. I will now hand over to my colleague, Paula.
Amazing, thank you, Nonto. So we know we have Ethel because she unmuted herself before. Ethel, can you still hear us? And are you there? I can see she's connected, but not with the audio sign. Let's see, technology can play with us on these live sessions. I'm not sure if Ethel can join us. If we cannot get Ethel, Nonto, we can probably move and then come back when she can manage with the connection to sort out the mic. Can see she's online.
Okay.
Okay, let's do this. Ethel, if you can still hear us, please bear with us while you sort out your mic. We are going to move on to the third program and then come back to you so you can share your wonderful experience with your students taking part on the Enterprise Adventure program last year. Great, thank you. Let's carry on, Nonto.
Lastly, we'd like to introduce to you the School Enterprise Challenge, a program some of you may be more familiar with. This is an educational program that supports teachers and learners to plan and set up real learner-led businesses in their school. Participants learn better and are more committed to achieving higher academic scores and develop essential life skills. Participating teachers get free modular-ready educational resources and training. The profits from the business belongs to the learners and the teacher. They can decide how they spend it. The School Enterprise Challenge program will also be starting next week. We recognize that last year, many schools could not continue with their business due to the pandemic. This year, we will be sharing extra resources to help learners and teachers continue their businesses despite the current school disruptions. I would now like to invite Ms. Scylla Edmonds, who is a principal at the Birches Pre-Primary School, to share her experience with the School Enterprise Challenge. I will now hand over to my wonderful colleague, Paula.
Thank you, Nonto. Scylla, do we have you? If you can please unmute yourself, or I can help you.
Yes, I have unmuted.
Amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. We like to hear all your story, all your experiences, but we know we are short in time. So if it's okay with you and everyone on the audience today, why don't we start with a short intro and background so everyone gets to know you a little bit better?
And I don't need a video?
If you like to,
You
please
happy?
do join us with video. You're welcome to.
It says that you've blocked me on video.
Okay, it wasn't me, but let me make you, I can probably make you co-host and then you can join. Yeah, Nonto, would you mind? Because you have the power at the moment.
I don't need a video, but I think it's easier for people to hear sometimes if they can see your lips move.
Exactly. No. Let's do video. If Nonto, if you can click on Scylla on the panelist one, and then yes, there we are. So Scylla, you should be able now to join us with your video. Hopefully you are a co-host at the moment. Yes, there we are. Amazing.
Okay.
Thank you, Scylla.
Perfect.
So would you like to share a little bit of your background, who you are, what you're doing at your school, and then we can share a little bit of the impact that the School Enterprise Challenge had with your learners and teachers at your school.
All right, my name's Scylla Edmonds. I'm principal of an eco school in Pinetown. And I think what most people are surprised to find out is we are a pre-primary. But we've had a school business for a long time, and it's very successful because we seem to be affecting not just the learner, but the whole family. And we've been very successful. So we have an eco school, and our business is called Sustainably Yours.
Amazing.
Do you want me to continue?
Yeah, sorry. No, go on.
Okay. All right, we began by starting a nursery a long time ago, and every year we added something to our products. We've got chickens, we've got a fruit forest, so we often have fresh fruit to pick. We've got our nursery that we keep going, and we sell compost, chicken manure, you name it. And one year we made Weed Zapper, which is a homemade remedy for getting rid of paving weeds. And that was quite interesting.
That sounds interesting. Thank you for sharing. And if you think about, you've been taking part for so many years and you've grown your business into so many small businesses with your little kids taking part and your teachers. If you were to describe the impact that has in your school, what would you say that was?
I think the biggest impact is we had to unlearn this cake sale mentality that a lot of people have for fundraising. So we had to move away from fundraising to proper business. And that's where School Enterprise Challenge helped us, because we went through the steps that you gave us. I think the most significant is we were used to doing things that we didn't use any money for, but it didn't necessarily make our business any better. So that startup capital that you challenged us has become an annual event. We have a Business Buddies team, but the whole school gets involved with an entrepreneurship evening. We have ours tomorrow evening. And we sell tables for the children to start a business with their families. If 200 Rand was the last money you had in your purse, what could you do to make a profit? Now, our startup capital comes every year from that 50 Rand from the table hire. I don't want to go into too many details, but that's helped us buy more hens for our chickens when we needed it. And it's helped us to add different things to our business.
Thank you, Sila. Sorry, I think we have somebody who's, we have some noise from, I'm not sure where is that coming from, but if you can please double check that you are muted, so we don't have any background noise, we'd appreciate that. I cannot seem to be able to mute people at the moment. I'm really sorry. Let me see what I can do so we can continue. It's a funny thing about being live, right? So let me do that quickly. I think that's it. Yeah. Sorry about that, everyone.
That's
Sorry about
fine.
that, Sila.
That's fine.
So I just wanted to say that you said the event is happening tomorrow, right? So this could be a really nice
Yes.
platform to invite
Yes.
everyone to join and grow your sales in a way, right?
That's right. That's right. And then the exciting thing is the profits of the business last year actually paid for the tarring of our driveway that had grass growing on it, and it's been wonderful. And thank you. With us achieving one of your gold levels, we got recognition from elsewhere, and a surprising grant came our way this year. So we have put up a new growing tunnel. And what we're going to be doing this year is every class in the whole school gets involved in growing food, but they've now challenged to make a profit from every bit of their produce. And, you know, little simple things that we learned when the COVID lockdown happened is that you can sell online. So this week we harvested a whole lot of lettuces. We packaged them Checkers style with the roots in water, and then sold them online to our parents. We've got a WhatsApp group that works. So we said to the parents, we've got 10 lettuces to sell before lunchtime, bid online, and you can bring your money when you come to fetch your child. And it worked amazingly well. So if anything, COVID made us rethink our business skills.
That is amazing. That is so inspiring, Sila. And you can see all the things that you can get done, right? If you are really focused, you know where you're going, and you have all this experience and continue growing and learning based on your learnings from what you are doing. That is absolutely amazing. Right. And thank you for sharing the experience on selling in times of COVID. I think that's something that the majority of the teachers we work with are really worried about, like, what can we do now? And I think you're giving us a perfect example of what could be done with the current situation, which is amazing. Thank you very much. Let me quickly check. We have somebody raising their hand. I'd like to see if they have any question for you, Sila. So let me, I think it's Soletu. And if you can please unmute yourself, or if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to share, feel free to do so. Soletu, you were raising your hand. No?
I'm wondering if she was having network problems.
Probably, yeah.
That's in
I don't want
chat.
to. I want to be respectful, and if I see somebody wanting to jump in, yeah, okay. Kindly accept my apologies. No worries at all. Amazing. But let me anyway check with anyone if anybody of you will have any question for Sila that you'd like for her to expand on. Type it on the chat or let us know by raising your hand. Sila, I think that was amazing. Thank you so much for sharing your wonderful experience. It's so inspirational, and hopefully the teachers and the different representatives from other organizations joining us today can get inspired as well from your passion on everything that you do. So thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Shall we, Nonto, shall we try to see if we can get Ethel back? I think she sorted out her audio problems. Ethel, are you back? Sila, you can stay with your video on if you like. You're welcome to. Don't worry, it's up to you. Ethel, yes, I can see you.
I'm fine. I'm back.
Amazing. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry you had those issues. So Ethel, you took part on both programs, right? The School Enterprise Challenge and the Enterprise Adventure last year.
Yes.
So would you like to share a little bit of your experience and the impact? And if we can focus on the Enterprise Adventure, which is a new program that we launched last year on COVID, that will be great, but also it's intertwined, right, with the School Enterprise Challenge. So if you'd like to share some background and your experience so far with everyone, I'll leave it on your hands.
So with School Enterprise Challenge, I started in 2014. I was working with my subject advisor, Linda, Nikki Rowe, and Suzanne. And then, yeah, it is a great experience. I really enjoyed it. From 2014 till now, I've really enjoyed participating in each and every program that they introduced to us. It is a very exciting and educative program. Usually when we are teaching, when we are in the class, you know, it's learning. But when you put that learning into practice, you know, the learners, they start to enjoy themselves because we are putting what they are learning, we are putting it into practice. And by so doing, they understand it better. So that's what I've seen. And also it has improved our results to a greater extent. I would want just to give a simple example, like in Enterprise Challenge, we do have topics like problem solving in our curriculum from Department of Education. And with Enterprise Challenge, they also do have those topics. And with the business itself, sometimes they face challenges, which is very helpful to understand because they go back to what they are doing into the business, and then it will make them understand the subject better. So my learners, they really enjoy it. And also just having time to network with other learners, because I remember last year we went to Lady Smith, and the setup of the school where I am coming from is an orphanage, whereby our kids, sometimes they don't go outside. So if we have cases like that, where we go outside to interact with other people, they really enjoy that. They really enjoy that. So for me, Enterprise Challenge is, sorry. Hello?
Oh, we are having issues again. Yeah, sorry, go on, sorry about that.
Yeah, so with COVID now, since I said we are an orphanage, we are staying at our school, the learners and the teachers, it was very difficult because we couldn't go out and no one from outside was allowed to come in school. And also we couldn't do online business because of the resources, some of the resources we don't have. So Corona was really a challenge to us. But I want to thank Priscilla as well for such brilliant ideas she has shared with us. Some of the things I'm sure we are going to put it into practice with my learners. I really appreciate that. But with us, COVID, it was something else.
Thank you, Ethel. And we can imagine how difficult it was last year. And we are still trying to find our feet, right? With all the school disruptions and all the challenges. But it's amazing to see, Sila, you can see just your positive knock-on effect by sharing what you are doing, because you can, you are spreading really good ideas for other teachers as well to think out of the box and think how would those ideas work within their context. We had a session last week as well, a brainstorming session with Erica and Hillcrest, where we kind of tackled the same, like with all these challenges at the moment, how can we do, or what can we do to think about other ideas and other services or products that we can offer, knowing all the challenges that we've been going through since the pandemic. So I think the more we share, the more we can think about what we could do, the more impact we'll have on our learners, on our work, and the growing the business and developing of skills, which is all about this, right? It's not about the profits. It's mainly about you as teachers supporting your students while learning and developing your own skills to develop theirs as well. So that was fantastic, Ethel. Thank you very much. And it was a great experience to again, you are blending the two because you've been taking part for a few years already on the School Enterprise Challenge, and you joined us with the Enterprise Adventure last year, which, by the way, as Nonto said, is going to be a new program this year, a revamped version. We take on board the feedback, we take on board all the lessons learned from last year, and we'll be launching from next week onwards a revamped version of the Enterprise Adventure.
Yeah.
Great, so thank you very much, Ethel and Sila, and we hope everyone who's joining us today got some really good ideas and inspiration on the things that you can continue doing, or the new things that you can start doing this year to continue developing your learners' skills. So you might be wondering, Nonto shared already these 3 exciting initiatives, the teacher webinars, the School Enterprise Challenge, and the Enterprise Adventure. You might be wondering, well, how I actually can take part of those. So it's mainly by registering to those programs. So we are going to share with you, at the end of the session on a follow-up email, the registration forms. So we'll mainly have 2 registration forms, 1 for each program. So 1 for the School Enterprise Challenge and 1 for the Enterprise Adventure. Nonto, if you like to, we can move on to the next slide. So we can, this is like a snapshot, thank you, of the 2 registration forms. They're really short and simple. I'm going to cover in a few minutes the main sections to consider, but this is to be filled by the teachers to join with the learners or with the school, depending on which program they like to take part on. So just to recap, the 2 programs are available for every school, as Nonto said, in South Africa. You can choose, right? So ideally, we like to offer the 2 programs to you, Enterprise Adventure, for young people between the ages of 13 and 18. They can work individually and ideally with their families. And School Enterprise Challenge, which is developed within the school, and they work in groups with other learners with the support of a teacher. So we'll invite you to offer the 2 programs to your learners and decide together which one you like to take part. And of course, you're welcome to take the 2 on board. They are different, they are complementary, so it's not one or the other. You can actually go for the 2 of them. So let's have a look together to the main sections of the registration form. So if we move to the next slide, let's have a look together. Oh, we're finishing the session. So 3 main sections for the Enterprise Adventure: your details, your school details, and how many workbooks and how it will work for you. Mainly the details I'm going to highlight today that are key, that we get right, your contact details, either that be your email address, your phone number, your WhatsApp number, because we are mainly here to support you going through these programs and on your entrepreneurial journey with your learners. So just to make sure that we got your contact details, and Nonto will be calling you and following up with you while going through this journey. For the School Enterprise Challenge, it's a little bit longer, but not that much. We have an extra on your experience and your students' motivation. It's mainly because we work in groups, so there are a few other things that we like to know about from your school and the way you work with your learners. For both of them, we have terms and conditions that for the ones who are taking part on our programs or been taking part in our programs for years already, you know, it's an easy read in a way. We are not, I don't know, we are not signing any contract or anything like that. It's just terms and conditions for everyone to be aware how the program works, and a child protection policy, which for us as an organization who work with youth and children is really important to keep in mind. So having said that, because we are really good with time today, I'm going to open up for questions. If there's any question, any comments, anything that you like to share, anything that hasn't been clear so far, we might have gone a little bit fast, probably. So if you like to bring us back to any of the programs that we mentioned, if you have any question, I'm going to allow a few minutes. I can see somebody raising their hand. Palesa, let's see if it's a question or something that you like to share.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
Can Okay, oh, okay, at least you can hear me. So I have 3 questions, and I would love to congratulate the last speaker, Priscilla, about the teaching strategy that they have implemented within their school, because that's one of the strategies that I believe that most African teachers are finding it difficult to implement, whereby you have to teach learners to learn through their experiences, and also to like using the learner-centered approach. That's the approach that you find that in South Africa it's very difficult for it to be implemented. So the first question that I have is that I've seen that the program, the new enterprise adventure program, you said it's between the ages of 13 to 18. So my question is that you find that we also have learners who are about 19 and 20 in grade 11 and 12. So how do you guys accommodate such learners? Because I believe that they can actually benefit a lot more than others. And second question is that you also target disabled schools, which I also believe that they can also benefit a lot more from these programs that you guys have. And the last question is the training. Do you also provide training to the teachers? Because I feel like most teachers in South Africa are going through a lot, not only a lot because they're given the work, but most of them don't know much about it. Like, for instance, the strategy that Priscilla has implemented at her school is a strategy that I believe that many schools need to implement, or many teachers should implement. So have you ever thought of having a training session to the teachers so that you can kind of assist them? Yes, that's it. That's the last question.
Okay.
Amazing, thank you. Shall I give it a go, Nonto? I might leave some for you.
Yeah, you can give it a go.
Or maybe you can go with the first one and I take the other 2. I know, yeah. The first one was about the age, right?
Yeah, so it was about the age, yeah. Thank you so much, Felisa, for your questions. When it comes to our program, we have ideally designed it for 13 to 18, but also we do have learners who are ranging from 19 up to 25 years who are participating in the enterprise adventure, and they are doing well, and it has been highly beneficial for them. So I'm just explaining that we don't like an age restriction, because we do have learners up until the age of 25 who are participating in our program already.
Exactly. Thank you, Nonto. So yeah, completely flexible, Alessa, on that sense, and completely agree with you. Everyone will benefit from this. The second one, in terms of disability, I would say at the moment, unfortunately, no. This is something that we are considering, probably partnering with that organization who has the expertise to work with different disabilities and in different schools. So if anyone today on this session knows about an organization that we can reach out to and start working together, I welcome the connection. So I would say for the time being, no, but it's something that we'll definitely like to explore and do more work on, because again, everyone can benefit from these programs. And the third one, in terms of training, yes. So 2 things on the training, and I'm going to check the chat and Q&A, which I can see there are a few things going on there. So 2 things on training. The first one is the teacher webinars are under or come under the training category. We are covering topics such as entrepreneurial mindset, building a student agency, and then topics more related to setting up social enterprises on businesses, such as market research, competitor analysis, and finances, to support teachers, supporting the learners going through those topics. We'll also have a second series this year on different soft skills that we like to share with teachers. And it's not soft skills, it's more like the mindset, the confidence, and the listening skills to develop them further. So that's coming on the webinars. As Nonto said, they are starting next week. They are going to be run from next week until the end of October on a fortnightly basis, twice a week, right? Every Tuesday and every Thursday on a fortnightly basis, they're going to be run. So you are all welcome to join. They are free webinars to attend. So we are going to be sharing the link to the first two, I think, on our follow-up email. In terms of trainings, we used to do in-person trainings until we had this lovely pandemic. So we are considering coming back to them as soon as we can, and it's allowed to be back to probably with the smaller groups, but organized in-person trainings. That's something that we usually do. We've been doing that every single year until last year. So it's definitely on the pipeline and it's coming back. But in the meantime, again, the webinars are available, another source of training as well for teachers. So let's quickly check. But Vanessa, did that answer your questions?
Yes. I'm very happy. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Thank you very much.
I feel so bad because I thought you guys muted because the baby's crying on the background.
No, don't worry. I'm DJing the Zoom controls here, so don't worry.
That's
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you. And you guys, I appreciate the amazing work that you guys are doing in our
Thank
school.
you very much.
Thank you so much.
And we look
Thank
forward
you.
to welcoming you.
Okay.
Thank you. Let me have a look at the chat. We have Vaughn saying, thank you for the presentation. Is it possible to complete different forms? Yeah, it is. It'll be one form per school. So as many as you like to, but it's one per school. Do you keep one to actually support the learners to participate in the challenge? Yes, the webinars cover both topics. So we'll start with entrepreneurial mindset, building a student agency, as I said. I don't remember the topics from the top of my head, but I'm going to share them with you, or we can share them with you after this. They're all scheduled already. So yes, they are definitely cover things and practical tools that you can take away to bring these topics to your classrooms. And then, yes. And then let me check the Q&A. Is the program specifically for schools only? Onele is asking. Yes, it's for school enterprise challenge is for schools. Enterprise adventure, not necessarily, is for individuals. So that's an open one. And teachers, webinars are for teachers. So school enterprise challenge for schools, enterprise adventure for individuals to be completed with their families, and teacher webinars for teachers. I think that's done.
Paula,
yes.
Can I add on to Onele's question about is it specific for schools? The enterprise venture, we also have youth groups that are participating in that, and their age ranges up until some members are like 32. So it's available for youth groups. Yeah.
Amazing, thank you, Nonto. Let me just check. I have a few hands up. So let's see, we have Toto. If you like to share a question or a comment.
Hi, thanks. Greeting for everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, you
okay.
are.
Oh no, thanks. Greeting to greeting to everyone. Yeah, I'm Toto. My question is just based on in terms of your trainings. Does your trainings maybe it's a blanket approach in terms of teachers? It doesn't maybe focus on specific maybe grades. Yeah, that's my first question. I think also my second question, it's with regard to what you have previously said. Unfortunately, I just joined you late. With regard, you don't have maybe other programs with regard to foundation phase learners. Yeah, that was my two questions. Thanks.
Amazing, thank you. Nonto, would you like to go?
I'd like to take the second question about foundation phase. Currently, we don't have a specific program developed for primary school learners, but we are researching and developing a program that we could adapt for young learners. We do have young learners who have participated in our programs, like from primary schools and also from pre-primary, but their participation was mainly dependent on the teacher. It was teacher-driven, as these are very young learners in primary school and pre-primary. So we are looking into adapting our programs to develop something that primary school learners can do on their own without necessarily the 100% involvement of the educators.
Amazing, thank you, Nonto. So I'm happy to take the first one, but can you please repeat what was the question?
No, my question was that I just previously, the previous presenter just said the trainings, it's from 13 to, yeah, I think I was asking, but hence I think I was when they said you don't have maybe some programs in terms of
Oh no, you're breaking up.
foundation phase, but I'm not sure. But my question was with regard to 18. Hello?
Yes, you were
Yes,
breaking
we
up,
hear you now.
but we can hear
Okay,
you.
thanks. No, mine I think I'm covered by the second answer. So with
Okay.
regard to, I was asking in terms of your programs for foundation phase learners, but I think the second answer just covered. Thanks.
Amazing, thank you. So as a recap, the School Enterprise Challenge is open to any school level, right? From pre-primary to primary, secondary, and technical vocational schools. Whereas the Enterprise Adventure, is mainly aimed for young learners aged from 13 to 18 years old. But as we answered before, it's flexible, right? So I can see, thank you, Toto, for your questions. I'm going to check with permission. I think you raise your hand as well. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. Permission Ricozzo. You raised your hand before. No? Okay, we can move on to a question that I can see on the Q&A. And Nonto?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, thanks. Sorry, I've joined the program late. My name is Permission Ricozzo. So I've got 2 questions.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for that. Okay, number 1, I would like to know how this program address the issues that learners are facing in order to increase their morale that could lead them to participate in your programs that you are running in a different schools effectively. For example, some other case, they might come from a family where there is nothing to eat for them. And for that, they might made some learners to not actively participate in your program. So does you offer them a sort of lunch after the program or anything that could they eat? And the other thing that I would like to know, if you are operating nationally or you are particularly based in KZN or Gauteng only. Which province are you operating? Thanks.
Thank you. I'm going to take the first one, Nonto, and you can take the second one. On the first one, just to clarify, the programs run within school hours and within different subjects that are being taught. So it could be business studies, it could be science, but it's integrated within the curriculum and within the school hours. So our program at the moment in South Africa is not being set up as an out of school or a club, which means that learners need to stay extra, and then they will need to spend more hours at the school. So having said that, for the specific question whether we cover lunch and everything, I'll say no, because that's not the aim of a program, and the program is being run while at school. And no, we don't provide lunches nor startup capital, which is something that Sila mentioned that actually is a challenge as for any entrepreneur to think about different ways in which they can start getting a little money to get something and start building on that. So I guess that will be the answer to the first one. The second one, Nonto, would you like to go?
Sorry, could you please repeat your second question?
No, actually, I wanted to find out if you are operating nationally, like I mean in South Africa.
Okay.
In which province are you operating? Because it's a good initiatives, and then it's also help our learners or youth to focus more at school, and it's also bring their morale, like when they think about going to school, they think, no, let me go to school because maybe I have these activities that I have to finish with, teach a man to fish.
Yeah.
So I would like to know, like, in which provinces are you operating currently?
Okay. Our programs are implemented across 9 provinces in the country. Currently,
Okay.
we are having schools here in KZN, Mpumalanga Province, Eastern Cape, and Gauteng. We do want to reach all other provinces. So yeah, we just running a national program. Yeah. But our
Okay, thanks for that.
KZN, yeah.
Okay, thanks for that.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your question. I can see a few more on the Q&A, which we are going to tackle now. And I can see Sila inviting everyone to her Sustainability Center for pay a visit or workshop sharing if anyone is near Pinetown. Thank you, Sila. That sounds amazing. We are nearby, so I might take up your offer. Sila, I wonder, because we're having a few questions on how the program is being delivered. And before we go into the Q&A, I wonder if you'd like to share how is it working at your school in terms of how you run the program and how you manage to integrate your activities and your participation in the program with your curriculum and the things that you run at your school.
Certainly. I don't think I need the video this time, but we have it completely integrated into the curriculum and at school. We've been at this for about 10 years, so this isn't new. We started small with a Business Buddy Club, and which I ran, and we did various activities. They had to want to be part of the club by earning their own money to come and buy a bracelet and joining the club. But we now have all the classes and the school involved. If I take our new project for this year, which is a growing food in every class initiative, I actually asked the teachers to write a business plan for that as to what they were going to do and what they were going to encourage their children to do. And now the children have come on board and they are making suggestions. And each and every day there's language, there's maths, and there are life skills being used. All we've done is try and make available time where the children can actually come to the same spot, which is the tunnel, and also we've got a little amphitheater. So it has become where I spearhead it. We have had club lessons like how do you sell from a basket, which we've had on a Saturday morning, especially through lockdown. We did that, just a few skills. And then the children would pick it up and go from there. But once you start adding things to your curriculum, you'll see that it'll become completely driven as it is at the moment. And instead of just me saying, come on, guys, let's do it, I now have my 6 teachers standing in line and saying, okay, this is what my class have told me they want to do. And we somehow find ways of drawing it into the curriculum. For instance, if you're teaching volume and mass, we were looking at our eggs. The children have weighed the eggs, they've sized the eggs, they've put them into different categories. There's a lot of things that they do with money and adding and subtraction, writing signs, trying to actually sell something, showing children how to engage and then letting them have an opportunity of finding something and selling it to their peers. So you can see we're quite passionate about this, but it didn't happen straight away. We went slowly with the steps that the School Enterprise Challenge had given us.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Sila. Yeah, it sounds like one step at a time, but as we usually say, we need to get started, right? So
yeah,
that's amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sila. So I'm aware of the time. I'm going to go through the Q&A. We have like 5 or 6 questions. So if it's okay with everyone, we like to finish on time today, but we also like for you to leave with all your questions answered. So let's have a look at them. Four is asking, for the youth or individuals participating in Enterprise Adventure, how are they assisted to complete the challenge of their project? I'm going to go quickly and then Nonto can expand probably, but we have WhatsApp groups. We frequently check in probably on a weekly basis with everyone. Yeah. Nonto, would you like to expand on that?
With the youth or individuals participating in the Enterprise Adventure and also the School Enterprise Challenge, is that we have created WhatsApp groups for each of the different schools, including myself, the teacher, and school principal sometimes, and also the learners. And on the groups, we send weekly communications explaining the different missions and how they can go about explaining it, completing the different missions. We also send through voice notes, and we do frequent weekly phone calls to different learners and teachers participating in our program. We also have a Facebook page where we also post communications about the program, and learners are more than welcome to contact us to ask any questions. They can even send like a call back, and I will call them and hear what is it that they're requesting, or maybe even need more clarification. And we also have focus group discussions, which we do on WhatsApp, just discussing the different topics, different missions that the learners need to complete. So those are our main forms of communication, mainly WhatsApp and SMSs, also bulk SMSs, and Facebook, yeah, and phone calls.
Amazing, thank you, Nonto. We usually go for a multi-channel approach at our organization. Thank you. So the next one says from Mbongu Musa, I think it's repeated, right? So I'm going to combine the two. Is it possible to feature the retired educators in this program? I'm not quite sure if I understand the question. So if you like to, I don't know, Nonto, if you understand, is it possible to feature the retired educators in this program? Does it mean if you are no longer a teacher?
Yes, if you were an educator in school, but now you've retired, yeah.
Yeah, I would say then the Enterprise Adventure could be one option to share with any young people that you know of. Yeah, and also to share our teacher webinars. Of course, everyone is welcome to join the teacher webinars starting next week. So hopefully that will answer the question. Then we have Sianda. Good day, I wanted to ask, is this program only for registered teachers? Because I am a music teacher that is not registered with SASE. Thank you. So for the teacher webinars, no, everyone is invited to join us. For the Enterprise Adventure, no. because it's mainly for young people. So you're welcome to share the program with any young people that you know of and would like to learn about entrepreneurship, practical entrepreneurship, and setting up and thinking about social enterprise ideas. And in terms of the School Enterprise Challenge, that's being run within the school premises. So I guess, I don't know, if you work as a music teacher at one school, you're welcome to bring the program to the school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great, thank you. So that was this one. This one we replied already. And then we have Yvonne as a parent. Can I join the program as a home-based educator? Yes, please. Does the door open as a welcome? Yes, you can. You can join us if you like the webinars as well, and to join the webinars, and of course, bring the home learning kit, the enterprise adventure, to your young children to work together on that. That's something that we are emphasizing this year. That's a program that can be run individually, but ideally with the support of parents. So yes, will be the answer. And then we have Bonhile. Does the teacher training web sessions accommodate individuals who are tutors? Yes, everyone is welcome to join those teacher webinars. So watch a space, and Nonto said, starting next week, we are going to share the registration links so you can join us on Tuesday or Thursday next week. And then we have Nino. Could you please provide more information about the content of the workbook? And is there an evaluation process? Okay, we can, that is going to happen next week, but we can share just top line content if that helps, and we can do that on a follow-up email if it's okay. Is there an evaluation process? It's more a self-evaluation of a skill progress for the learners. There are different prizes on the program, and that's mainly for completing different mission activities and progressing through the different activities, as I said before, within the Enterprise Adventure program. So that's mainly the evaluation. Great, so I'm aware of the time, 1 minute to go. Let me quickly check the chat. Thank you everyone for joining us. Yes, I will echo all the thank yous as well. Nontosha will move on to the next one, so we wrap up before everyone goes. Just with an invitation to join us. Let me quickly check in the meantime. Going with this dance. Amazing, thank you very much, Nonto. We are DJing the Zoom platform. So this is the final invitation to join us to our growing community of global entrepreneurs. We are an organization, as Nonto said at the beginning, we are based in the UK. We have country offices in different places. We are based in Durban in South Africa. And so far, we reached more than 19,000 teachers and 370,000 learners worldwide have been trained, setting up more than 5,500 schools. So it's a global movement. It's a powerful movement of young people developing skills, not just for their own benefit, but empowered to use the skills to help others. So that's all about our programs. That's what we like to offer to you this year as well in South Africa. So we follow up with you. Please, Nonto, if we can move on to the last one. And thank you everyone for joining us. Next steps then, as we said at the beginning, please join us. We are launching all the programs next week. You'll get all the details on the follow-up email. Do you have on the screen Nonto's details, her email address, her phone number, WhatsApp? She said it before, call, WhatsApp, like all the channels available for us to be in touch and to be supporting your school and your learners going through our programs. So without further ado, because it's already 5 o'clock, we would like to thank you for your time today. It's been amazing. Thank you everyone who joined us today on the session. Thank you, Sila. Thank you, Ethel. Thank you, Nonto. And yeah, thank you everyone. It was great having you here, and we look forward to welcoming you to our programs from next week onwards.
Yeah.
Have a lovely evening then. Thank you very much. Thank you. Amazing. Thank you very much. Sorry, Nonto, yeah, I didn't want to.
We do have raised hand from Kanya.
Yes.
And Valesa, I don't know if they like to unmute themselves.
Hi. One last question that I have is that now that you guys have what do you call this thing? An organization in Durban. Is it possible that whenever you have other organizations across the like nationally, do you allow other do you take volunteers in short?
Yeah,
or
we do.
other interns?
Yeah.
Yeah, our office is based in Devon, but yeah, we do work with volunteers. So if you like to get in touch with us, if you know anyone, or if you like to volunteer, yeah, we welcome applications, and we can work together with volunteers.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Amazing. Nonto, you said somebody else? Kanya.
Kanya, yeah.
Kanya, is there anything else that you'd like to add before we wrap up?
Yes, please, quickly. Is
Yes.
your program, seeing that you mentioned it's nationwide,
Yes.
is it all of it, especially with the schools that we've got across in the different languages, is it just one language-based English medium, or does it incorporate other languages in the country? Or is it left to the school to decide how they'll run it? And my second question is, in terms of entrepreneurial skills, which is quite critical, especially with our economy the way it is, how do these skills translate to the youngsters' day-to-day lives? Can they take these skills with them apart from fundraising or raising funds for school and business skills for the school? Can they take them back to their own family setups? You know, for instance, if my mother is a local vendor, for instance, you know, she's selling magwenya or fruits, you know, can they translate this back home?
Definitely. I will jump on that one with a definitely. We've witnessed so many stories from learners gaining the practical skills and taking them back to their families and supporting their own family businesses. So definitely it's transferable. But we need to start somewhere again. And within the school, we like them to develop these practical skills so then they can take them to their families and continue growing and developing once they finish school. So that's the second one. Thank you very much for that question. Nonto, would you like to go with the first one?
Yes, with our programs, our resources, they mainly available in English, but we do adapt it. It has been adapted to isiZulu only. So those are the two languages that we have been using so far. But and also it was once adapted to Afrikaans because it was an Afrikaner school that was participating. So whatever the school decides, what language they decide to use, we always try and adapt our programs to suit the language that the school chooses. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you, Nonto. I hope, Kanya, that answers your question.
Yes, thank you.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Okay, so we know you might need to go before it gets darker. So thank you very much, everyone. Again, if you have any further questions, feel free to reach out to us. You'll get our email address when we send the follow-up email. So feel free to reply, and we can jump on a call as well anytime, as Nonto said before. So please do so, and we'll be happy to arrange a call or a follow-up email from the one that we'll share. Amazing. So that will be it from us. Thank you very much once again. Have a lovely evening, and we look forward to seeing you next week on the webinars and signing up for the programs. Amazing. Goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.